So, Dorgu is looking likely that he will be the first big signing of the Ruben Amorim era. And if we're talking about profiles, then Dorgu is an Amorim wingback. If you've been following me a while, you'll know that I probably first touched upon Dorgu back in, I'm going to say, March or April time. The first time I ever watched him play like a full 90 was back last season, so probably early 2024, and he really caught my eye due to his sort of pace, aggression, wanting to get up and down, attacking instincts. And I've kept a little bit of an eye on him ever since. Obviously tweeted back in December that Dorgu or Kirkes would be my picks in terms of just sort of how raw they are. If we can't get Alphonso Davies, the attacking instincts, the eagerness to get forward. And I've kept a little eye on Dorgu ever since. So in today's video, I'm actually going to give you everything you need to know on Dorgu in terms of his traits, why I think he's a fit for Ruben Amorim's system, a little bit about the player who's only 20 years of age. He's still got areas to improve. But before I actually talk about Dorgu and why I think it's a good signing and why I've been talking about him for a while, I do want to quickly get into the news around Dorgu so you guys are sort of up to date on everything that's been said. So obviously David Ornstein broke the news earlier today about, United having talks, la-di-la, they've opened talks with the guy. But Fabrizio Romano linked us to him, I think like December 14th or 15th, saying that he's second on the list after Kirkes. And if you've been following me, I've been talking about this guy in live shows for a while because he's one that's for sale. Kirkes probably not for sale. Nuno Mendes probably not for sale. He's one that's for sale. And, the big standout to me is that's his injury record. He's only missed one game in his career through injury. Although knowing our luck, we seem to have a left-back curse, which makes him even more appealing. And Amorim is keen to add reinforcements in the January window. Manchester United negotiating to sign him, and United have scheduled a meeting with Lecce in Italy regarding Dorgu, who's £25 million, which value for money in terms of his ceiling, really good deal. Dorgu and Diego Leon for the left wing-back role. And obviously, they could play right wing-back as well, because Amorim actually likes two left-footed wing-backs in the system with Kenda. Really, really interesting. But it was said that formal talks with Lecce over Dorgu are set to happen soon. The player himself is keen on the move, said Fabrizio Romano. United hoping that they can get the deal done for 21 to 25 million. Romano saying that they're now pushing for 34 million, but I think 25 million could get the deal done. And Ruben Amorim wants to sign players before he lets other players go this month. And considering that Anthony Terrell Betis is done, here we go. I don't think Ruben Amorim would have approved that unless he knew he was getting Patrick Dorgu in. United also basically apparently agreed yesterday that Malacia was going to leave on loan. And apparently that was basically agreed and done like 2 days ago, that Malacia is leaving the club as well. So that's also one to keep an eye on. So it looks like Dorgu's set to come to United, and Amorim wants to bring him in. And we're also looking at Dorgals, who's an attacking player at Salzburg as well. So these are ones to keep an eye on. But I want to talk about Dorgu. And I'm actually going to break him down and tell you a little bit about him as a player. Now, I'm not going to lie, I've not watched loads of this guy. I just remember like the first time watching him just under a year ago, and this was his breakout season. He really caught my eye in terms of, his eagerness and his 1v1 and carrying, and he really caught my eye in terms of exciting. And then I've kept an eye on him ever since, and a bit like Kirkes, he's got that little bit of excitement about him. He's young, he likes to get forward. So this is what I said just initially, and then I'm going to get into analysis. So what we know about Dorgu is he's versatile. He would thrive in the left wing back under Amorim, but he could also play right wing back or fill in at left centre back if needed. He's played right wing back for Lecce, although we play right 10s. He won't play right 10 for us. And he scored goals there. He showcases his attacking abilities. Ball carrying, technical skill, he's good. But pace, press resistant, physicality and aggressiveness 1v1 for me makes him ideal for Amorim's wing back role. Amorim needs a wing back, a fullback that's very aggressive, someone that's good out wide, someone that's good in the wide channels, likes to get forward. They need to be fast, physical, but also a good ball carrier and also a good crosser. And he's got that, Dorgu. In terms of ceiling, he's got that. And with Diego Leon coming in, we're now going to have two very physically good left wing backs for their age that are able to cover ground, that are able to sprint, that could play left centre back for the future, which is really exciting. And you could play one left wing back, one right wing back, because that's how Amorim's system worked. And as Rising Gem said here, I just clocked we have Diego Leon as well for left wing back position. If we sign Dorgu, it'll be incredibly exciting. Two top tier talents with athleticism, attacking prowess, and defensive solidity and versatility. I'm excited about the future. And I feel like we've had rebuild after rebuild after rebuild in this crowd. But the one thing I will say is, if we're going off profiles, this is the kind of player we need. And one thing I've noticed off INEOS is they go more of profiles rather than sort of names that are known. And that's what I like. So let me tell you a little bit about Patrick Dorgu. So his breakout season was the 23-24 season, which he first caught my eye. He's a modern fullback, very calm, very composed, very good for his age. And obviously, I think he won Denmark Player of the Year or Young Player of the Year as well, interestingly. But can play right back, left mid, left wing, right wing. He'll be a left wing back or right wing back in Amorim's system. Maybe he fills in at left centre back if needed, but he's going to be wing back. Let's be honest. Not right 10, not left 10. He's going to be a wing back. He has the ability to play right 10 or left 10 if we're desperate, but he'll be a wing back. 100%. That's what he's signed to do. So he can operate left wing back, left centre back, or even as a winger because of his ball carrying ability. He can get forward, but he excels 1v1. He uses his physicality very well in 1v1 scenarios when it comes to defensively and when it comes to getting forward. He's got the pace. He's got the ability to carry the ball, drive up the pitch, catch people, beat people 1v1. He's very good. 6'1". Got the pace, got the stamina, got the size, he's got the physical presence. When you look at a player, they need the versatility, they need the profile, they need the physical and technical attributes to suit Amorim ball. And I think he does this. Very quick, got an engine on and can recover quickly. Amorim is about engines, it's about athleticism, it's about intensity of players, but they also need to have that a little bit of technical ability going forward. We've noticed under Ruben Amorim, off of the ball, we've been fine in the games like Arsenal and Liverpool because we've actually managed to do that work off the ball. But then on the ball, when we were expected to do more versus Southampton and Brighton, we're not because we also lack the technical abilities. He's got the mix of the physical and technical abilities that I believe is needed. Obviously, he's not fully there yet. He's raw, but I think he's got that mix. He's more physical than Harry Amas. In terms of pace, wide channel defending and dueling, I think he could be the guy for Ruben Amorim in terms of getting up, getting back, covering ground, covering the wide spaces. And I think he's press resistant. He could be more two-footed, which could improve him and build up. But I think in terms of keeping the ball, holding the ball, dribbling, being aware of space, I think he's very press resistant. He's got a good strike on him, a good crossing ability, and he's very good in defensive opportunities. And people say, is he an Alphonso Davies regen? There's elements of that in his game. If we look at defensive qualities, again, 1v1 duels, body positioning, intelligence to push attackers into unfavourable areas, can match them for pace, can match them for strength. He uses his pace and strength to his favours, pushes opposition players out of the way. And I think he just uses his physical attributes well. And we talk about players not using the physical attributes to their advantage. But one of the reasons I think Amad Diallo has really clicked on this season is even though he's not the most physical player, he uses his body very well to hold off players and keep the ball and improve that retention, which I think is something that Dorgu can do. But yeah, I think he could play left centre back under Amorim. He can read the game quite well, but I don't see it happening. He's an attacking-minded player, but can do the defensive duties. You look at Amad Diallo, he's an attacking player, but he's probably our best right wing back as well as our best right 10. And you sort of get the same thing in Dorgu, although he's a bit more defensive minded than Amad. He is more of a natural fullback. But he's the kind of guy that can be what Amad does a little bit. I'm not going to compare him to Amad, but when Amad's at fullback, he has that attacking drive that Mazraoui and Dalot don't have because we signed him to play in a back four. Dorgu will have that attacking drive that Amad has. He's not like Amad, but he will have that attacking drive and attacking instinct because that's where he shines. Dribbling, linking play upfield, cutting inside, creating chances. If he's playing on the right, he'll cut inside and create. If he's playing on the left, he can deliver a good cross. You look at the space and runs Dalot makes is really good. And then Dalot puts the cross in and it's not so good. Dorgu will be more natural with a first-time effort to cross. In terms of just wide areas, he's very good at holding the width. Very intelligent, but he can make the overlapping runs and he can make the underlapping runs to create space for teammates and help the team build out if needed. That's what I would say was Dorgu's strengths. If I look at areas to improve, he's still young, he's still raw, and I think that can be seen in his decision making. It's knowing when to pass, when to carry. I was saying the same about Lucas Bervo, who's been excellent for Spurs, but sometimes he doesn't know when to pass, when to carry, when to quite release that ball. And I think you get elements of that in Dorgu, and I think that's very normal in a young player. I think in terms of being more two-footed, in terms of knowing when to pass and when to carry, could be areas he could improve. But in terms of him as a player, he's so exciting because he's a hybrid fullback. He's got the physical and technical attributes that we want. He could play in many positions in Ruben Amorim's system, and at £25 million in terms of a long-term investment, in terms of ceiling, that is really good. And I spoke about it, and I spoke about the depth that this could bring. If we bring him in, because we're going to bring two wing-backs in, I'm assuming 2025, the other wing-back could be Kirkes, it could be Alvaro. We don't need to necessarily go for natural right-footed players because he likes left-footed players on the right. And you could see a Kirkes, you could see an Alvaro, and you've got Diego Leon coming in, and all of a sudden, with Malacia and Shaw out, the depth massively improves because I still think Mazraoui's best at right centre-back. And the depth massively improves there for United with this signing coming in, and we get another wing-back in the summer. And as Statman Dave said here, Patrick Dorgu ranks in the top 4% of fullbacks across Europe's top 5 leagues for carries into the final third and top 6% for expected goals. He's one of the most attacking fullbacks out there. And what does Ruben Amorim need? An attacking fullback. I will keep you guys updated on all the transfer news regarding this guy, but it feels like this deal's set to happen. We've been working on it a while. Anthony is out. Let's see what happens. Thank you for watching. Bye.